when we take the vitamins rightly, we are not going to run in the deficiency of the special vitamins that we need. We are going to have a healthy body. If we are speaking this with regard to our physical health, there is also a spiritual health. And if the spiritual health is not proper, we could be all the time in mess. We would not have a satisfied and peaceful feeling, because something is not proper that can put us at ease and comfort. Jesus, in today's gospel, says, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness." Now he is speaking these lines at the festival which he was for, the festival of lights. And maybe at the end part of this festival, he is pronouncing that I am the light of the world. And if you follow me, you would not walk in darkness. Now, as I mentioned, we require God. We require spiritual. If the proportion of God in our life is not okay, I said, our life would not be normal. The health could even suffer, because it's the spiritual that overpowers even the physical. We require God to rule our daily lives, to rule our daily livings, to rule our daily desires in our thinking. If our thinking is not well, if our desires are not right, our lives would not be right. See, in today's first reading, there is Susanna who lives a righteous life with her closeness to God, and there are two men who are appointed as judges over people to help people in the rightful system of living. But when they are lasting for Susanna, and when she says no, they are accusing her of adultery. They wanted to get rid of her, to make her pay the price for not giving in to sin with this man. Now, Susanna remains faithful. She remains faithful to God. And she says, I would not fall in sin with this man and offend God. Rather, I would prefer to die, as they are going to accuse her of this adultery. Susanna trusts in God, and she is being redeemed. There's Daniel, who God inspires to prevail over this unjust system. And when Susanna is being led after false accusation by these judges, Daniel redeems and helps Susanna. The life of these judges was without light. It was without God. And that's the way we can get into darkness. It's not to say that we are not going to be tempted. Susanna too was tempted, but she remained faithful. It's the light, the God, the spiritual, which overpowered her. When we have God in our lives, when we have this light of God over us prevailing in our lives, we would be made aware of the different darkened spots in our lives. It will help us to live our lives right. Let us ask in prayer that we follow, though it is difficult, follow having this God, having this spiritual in our lives at all times.